Video, I really want to talk to you guys about one thing that's really helped me over the last 40 days with my art. And for me, that's simply not looking at my favorite artists as much as I used to. When I first started drawing, one thing I would do all the time is I would go and I would look at Sam Does Art, and I would look at Guways and Wulop. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. It's WLOP, and Jackie Druko and a lot of these other guys that I looked up to and that inspired me to get into the digital art world and digital art space and start drawing and taking it serious. And when I first began drawing, I tried to do exactly what they did. I tried to draw exactly like them. I started to, you know, find pictures that they would find and, try to pretty much mimic them exactly. And I did that for about a year, and I would do these art pieces, and they would be decent art pieces, in my opinion. We're all our own worst critic, but I would do these art pieces, and they would turn out okay. Other people liked them, and my family would love them, and people I would show they would love them, and all this stuff. And some of them are even here on my YouTube channel if you just kind of scroll down to some of the other videos. But I didn't feel fulfilled in the art that I was doing because I knew that the art was just a copy of someone else's work, and I wasn't really doing what made me feel good about my own art. And so earlier this year and late last year, I pretty much just put art to the side for a while, and I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm tired of drawing this, but I don't know what else to do. So I'm just gonna kind of put the iPad down. I'm gonna put Procreate up, and I'm just gonna try to just not think about art for a while. And what I did after that was I recently just kind of got into video gaming again. um, I started playing Cyberpunk 2077, and I really got inspired by the art and the world of Cyberpunk, which is Night City. And I was driving around, I was looking around at the some of the art because obviously when you build a game like that, it obviously has to go to paper before it gets put into the 3D world. And I'm just admiring it, and I'm like, man, it's so cool that someone actually took the time to sit down, blueprint this whole city, draw it all out, build it in a 3D world, and now I get to experience it and, live in it in this video game. And so I played that for a while, and I still play it today, but I was playing that for a while, and my oldest daughter actually is um, a big art fan. She wants to get into art, and she's 10, so she's watching these different videos. I have her watching like Sam Does Art and some other guys and stuff like that. But long story short, she's watching. I think she was watching Sam Does Art, and it kind of just like sparked in me again to like, you know what? Let's just try this art thing again. Let's just see, you know, where it's gonna take me. And so I picked up the pad again, and I was going through Pinterest, and I didn't really know what to draw. Still, I was kind of stuck on drawing the same old hot ladies on Pinterest. The stuff that you see everyone see or everyone draw, the stuff that you see everyone else draw. And I was going through, and eventually I was like, you know what? I don't want to draw any of this stuff. I still feel the same way about it that I felt 6 months ago. And so I just typed in cyberpunk artwork, and immediately I started to see a lot of artwork from Cyberpunk 2077. And I was like, oh man, it'd be really cool to draw maybe some concept art or something like that. And so I started just looking up different stuff from Cyberpunk, and eventually I started to find that a lot of people obviously create their own character in the game, and so there's a lot of V characters that are on Pinterest that people just take pictures of and they post them. And as I would click on different pictures, it would take me to different recommendations for other cyberpunk art. And so it got into AI cyberpunk art and different styles into the cyberpunk world. And I was just so intrigued by the combination of, machine and human, or this transhumanistic style. And so I just kind of kept scrolling and scrolling. I did that for like, honestly, I did that for about 3 days. I just saved this collage of cyberpunk inspiration, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna rush it. I put the pen back down. I put my tablet up, and then a few days later, I picked it back up again, and I was like, you know what? This is actually kind of cool. Like, what if I just started drawing cyberpunk characters? And so that's what I did. So for the last 40 days, I've built this collage of inspiration in a specific niche that I'm interested in, that honestly will probably never go away. I've been interested in the cyberpunk style of art for years now, and I just never thought to draw it actually. And so now I'm in a phase where that's pretty much all I like to do: robots and cyberpunk style transhumanistic people. And on Pinterest, a lot of guys use AI to create these images that I can now use as reference, and there's like an infinite amount of references now, and so that's what I tend to do. And so I say all that to say that art doesn't have to be a chore when you find what you love within the art that you're doing. A lot of times I think that we as artists fall out of love with our art in the finding references phase, or like in the phase of trying to figure out what we're going to draw. I know I've always loved to do art, but I hated figuring out, and I hated thinking about and brainstorming, like, oh man, what am I going to draw this time? Or what am I going to do? You know, what do I want it to look like? And who am I going to draw? Am I going to draw a person or a place or a thing? And just deciding to only do this one thing that I love, and that being cyberpunk art, it allowed me to just cut out all the noise. And only when I'm going to draw this one specific style of art for right now. Like maybe it'll change in the future. Maybe I'll start drawing, I don't know, cats or something. But for now, when I open my sketchbook, or when I open my Pinterest, or when I open my iPad, and I'm sitting down to draw, and I scroll past, that Kylie Jenner post on Pinterest that I used to want to draw, a year ago, I just scroll past it, and it's not even a thought to even think about drawing, because I've already cut out all the pieces that I don't even need to put thoughts in my mind to do it. If that makes sense. And so now my whole Pinterest is curated to cyberpunk work, whether it be places, whether it be, I have cyberpunk animals on my on my Pinterest now. I have a whole folder of different things I want to draw. And so if I can't create my own piece out of putting pieces together, there's definitely a ton of work, of AI pieces that people have created that I have saved that I definitely want to draw in the future. And it just really helps me out a ton, and it allows me to not have to think about that specific part of the process. And so if you're anything like me and you want to get out of this ugly stage of like, man, I really want to draw, but I don't know what to draw, and so I'm not going to draw. If you really want to just get out of that phase, in my opinion, I think the absolute best thing that you can do is just choose a niche, choose something that you love, whether it be, if you're a big sports guy or a big sports woman, or you like drawing people fighting or boxers or whatever you like to do the most, draw that and be really good at drawing that one thing. And obviously you can draw other stuff if you want to, but in those times of not knowing, have something to go back to and fall back on, so that way you don't have to stop yourself from doing any art at all. And so with that, guys, hope this video helps. I hope that this inspires you to pick up a pen and just get to drawing and finding a niche that works for you and that you feel like will allow you to draw consistently without getting frustrated and burning out. So that, guys, I'm wrapped up. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.